Rabbi, welcome back.
What's going on, Rabbi?
Season 2 Ba'adat Hashem of Vayelekhu Shenehem Yahdav in Hashem.
What is it? Whenever we get the chance to sit down and discuss Divrei Torah, if it was up to me, it would be all day, every day.
Yes.
But life has a way of
we have a job
of interrupting the Torah that we really want to enjoy doing. Bezrat Hashem. So whenever we get a chance to sit down, right now it's Perashat Noah, a lot to talk about. Maybe like an interesting small detail that when Noah is constructing the teva, he's told Sohar ta'aseh la teva, that he's supposed to make basically a window, a window in the teva. And the different Mefarshim try to understand what exactly is the purpose and the reason for making the window. Why specifically does he need to have? I know it's nice to have, but he's like commanded to have a window. Like, what's the point of that? So some of the Mefarshim say that he should know that when it's daytime, when it's nighttime, to have some kind of a understanding what the cycle is going on. Another explanation is that that when Noah is praying in the teva, the window allows for a person to have better kavanah. And this is actually the source of the halakha.
That a Beit Knesset has to have windows.
That a Beit Knesset has to have windows. And then there's more mystical ideas from the Zohar, the Beit Yosef brings that there should be 12 windows in the Beit Knesset. All the but the basic idea is that there should be a window when a person is praying. And then the question becomes, and this is one of the main sources, because Noah was commanded to have a window, so that he could have Kavanah in the tefillah for the course of the time he's in the teva.
It says about Daniel also. It says, he had windows situated so you can see Yerushalayim.
I'm happy you brought up Daniel, because Daniel is such an interesting character in Tanakh. He's essentially the first person that grows up in Galut.
Correct.
He's us.
He's us.
You know, we're in Galut. If there's any person in Tanakh that we look for inspiration that's like has been in our shoes, I think it's Daniel. There's so much to learn from every person in Tanakh, but Daniel was us. He's in the Galut, he's in Bavel, and he's the one that originates this notion of praying towards Yerushalayim. That's from Daniel. That's where we get that from the Tanakh, from the Sefer. And when he does so, as you mentioned, he prays from the window.
Yes.
He prays from the window facing Yerushalayim. So that's actually the explanation that the Rambam gives, that we should pray wherever we are, in a Beit Knesset or privately, if you're in your home. Pray towards the direction of a window so that it sort of helps you visualize like Yerushalayim. You're standing in front of a wall, like that's it, there's a wall in front of you. Yeah. But like the window almost allows you to expand your imagination to like almost visualize, wow, Yerushalayim is right in front of me almost, to have that kind of conception, which I think is a beautiful idea. There are other explanations why in front of the window. One explanation is that it just gives you like more peace of mind, like clarity.
Serene.
Yeah, it gives you more serene. It gives you like centeredness. That's like the nature kind of argument, like we're always like, you're in a city, you're surrounded by technology, it's hard to have concentration and focus. You go out into the field, right? Say it's you go out into the field, how much better you feel, how much easier it is for you to focus and have concentration. So that's another aspect of like looking through the window. It's like more of a nature thing. But what I found was interesting is that if you look at Shulchan Aruch over there where he talks about this, he says a person shouldn't pray in an open field, ideally.
Because it's disruptive.
Yeah, it's disruptive. And I found that very interesting. I was thinking about that, especially during like COVID times where people are all praying outdoors, and you're praying outdoors, and on the one hand it could be helpful because you're in nature, like that's helpful. On the other hand, it could be distracting because it's almost like too much. There's too many
things going on.
Yeah, there's too many things going on. On the one hand, it's a different too many things going on. Like we live in the too many things going on in the technology. This is like too many things going on in nature. And what I take from all this is that every person needs to find and set up for themselves, the right situation of tefillah, and it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody, and it's also different for each person at different times of their life. Sometimes, most times, I would say, for a person to pray in a minyan is really the most effective, beneficial thing in the long term. But sometimes a person needs to a yahid tefillah. You know what I mean? And by that I mean according to halakha, you could pray nitz without a minyan, which is better than praying with a minyan later than netz, right? So if sometimes a person feels like I need quiet. I need to settle. Like there's so many things, I need the quiet. So a person shouldn't pray by himself later. But if you wake up in netz and you want to pray beyahid, I'm not saying that should be done on a regular basis at all. And that should always be done. But sometimes a person needs the tefillah that they need, and I think that's important.
They need the focus.
Sometimes they need the focus. Sometimes they need other things. Being around people inspires them in one way. Sometimes you have a big decision that you need to make. You need the quiet. You need the meditative, experience. And it has to do with all different kinds of things. You have to find and set yourself up in your tefillah the way that is right for you. The way that's gonna be where you sit. What you emphasize, what you focus on. And the more you prepare and set yourself up for the tefillah the right way, the more meaningful your tefillah. People expect you go into the tefillah day in, day out with no preparation. You just walk in and pray. Yevshar, as the Gemara says, our Chachamim, in the olden days, they would 1 hour before tefillah was preparation, and then they would pray for an hour, and then they would 1 hour after the tefillah. So we're not saying you have to do, everyone has to do that, but the idea of investing into the scenario of your tefillah, investing in the environment, in the setup, in the proper, manufacture for yourself the right way for tefillah, which I think is definitely very helpful. And that's what Noah has commanded with all the things he needs to do. He needs to protect his family. He needs to save the animals. He needs to do all this stuff. And according to the way we're reading it, make sure that you set up for yourself a way to pray that is going to be a conducive
amidst all this,
everything that's going on. No matter how busy your life is, it's never going to be as busy or as Noah saving humanity. But even in that scenario, take a moment and make sure, am I going to be able to have a meaningful tefillah? What can I do to make the tefillah that's coming up, in a way that's conducive to be able to have kavanah? Because we all have those moments where in the middle of tefillah and it's hard. You struggle. You struggle with the kavanah in the moment. So everything that you could do before that moment is definitely beneficial.
I love it.
Bezrat Hashem.
Love it.
Bezrat Hashem, we should find hain in the eyes of Hashem during our tefillah. And the more we do, the better it is, and the more we invest. Borei Olam sees the effort that we do, and most importantly, we see if it's important. When you feel like it's important to you, then you take it more seriously. When you prepare for something, it's easier to focus in on that thing because you've proven to yourself that it's important. So it's yours. You made it. You did it. So you're not gonna take it lightly.
Right.
You go into a meeting and you're prepared for that meeting. You walk into that meeting. You're zoned in.
You own it.
Yeah, you're there. Everything about you is telling yourself this is important because you prepared for it. You walk into a meeting, you didn't prepare. You could do great, but you could also, you could also be off your game because nothing told you that it's important.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing also with your relationship with a spouse. The more anticipation there is for let's say a birthday or a dinner that you go out and so on, that shows that it's important. If you planned, you're not going to plan and then get in there and not be focused.
Right.
You planned it, you set it up, you anticipated it, you were excited for it, you did things in order to make sure that everything was going to be right. And you're in the moment, you're going to take it seriously. You've set yourself up for the kavanah that you need. Bezrat Hashem, we should all set ourselves up to have the proper kavanah whenever we are, whatever we're doing.